Many years ago, Dr. Henderson was awakened by consistent knocking at his front door. Being the area's only physician, he was accustomed to getting calls at all hours, so he dressed quickly and hurried downstairs. The red glow from the hearth cast flickering shadows throughout the room. Glancing at the wall clock, he noticed it was just past midnight. Outside, the moon shone brightly on the white snow. He opened the door and was surprised to see a young girl, no more than 12 or 13 years old, standing before him. He had never seen her before. She was dressed in a blue coat and carried a white muff, and her cheeks were red from being out in the cold. "Please come to my mother," begged the girl. "She's sick and I'm afraid she'll die." "Who's your mother?" asked the doctor. "Mrs. Cameron," replied the girl. "Please hurry." Then the girl explained that they'd only recently moved to the old Hanley place about 3 miles away. She said she thought her mother had pneumonia, and since her father was dead, there was no one else to come for help. When the doctor said he would come at once and do all he could, the girl quickly thanked him and darted away, running up the road in the direction of the old Hanley place. Dr. Henderson bundled up in his sheepskin coat, pulled down the ear flaps on his cap, picked up his bag, and went to the barn for his horse. He lost no time in throwing on the bridle and saddle, picking up a blanket because he was blue cold, and heading for the Hanley place. For in those days, pneumonia was a dreaded and deadly illness. As he hurried his horse up the snow-covered road, he kept thinking of the bravery of the young girl who had faced the severe cold to seek his help. She had run off before he could ask her in to warm herself. Yet she hadn't appeared to be that cold. His thoughts soon turned to his own discomfort because his feet and hands began to feel numb before he saw the glow of a lamp in the old Hanley house. Quickly tying his horse to the gatepost, he threw the blanket over it and hurried up the snow-covered walk to the porch. There was no answer to his knock, so he opened the door and walked in. The sight was a common one to him. There, in a bed, lay the sick woman. The fire was almost out, but the lamp oil still burned. He felt the woman's pulse and found that she had a very high fever. He placed more wood on the fire because the room was cold and set to work with the confidence that comes from having handled many emergencies. He knew if he could break the fever, he could possibly save the woman's life. After giving her medicine, he heated water and applied poultices to her chest. She soon gained enough strength to ask, "How did you know to come?" The doctor replied that her daughter had come for him and that she was a brave girl to go out on such a bitterly cold night. "But I have no daughter," whispered the woman. "My daughter has been dead for 3 years." "What?" exclaimed the doctor. "Why, a young girl, 12 or 13 years old, called me out of bed and begged me to hurry here." "Couldn't have been my daughter. She died of pneumonia 3 years ago." "Who could it have been then?" asked the doctor. "And how did she know you were ill? She was dressed in a blue coat and a white muff." "My daughter had a blue coat and a white muff," whispered the woman. "They're hanging in the closet over there." Dr. Henderson strode over to the closet, opened the door, and took out a blue coat and white muff. His hands trembled when he felt the coat and muff and found them warm and still damp from perspiration.